Well, joining me to wrap the political year is commentator Willie Jackson. We've got Matt McCarten with us too. Kia ora koutou. Thanks for coming this morning. It's been all about water this year, eh? High Court hearing wrapped this week. We're waiting for a decision, expecting that before Christmas. What's your expectation, Willie?
Oh, it's not looking too good, unfortunately. There seems to be a bit of a mood or move against Māori in the judiciary at the moment. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Māori Council lost that case. But, you know, that's not going to stop them. They're very strong, they're very principled. The Māori Council case is all about justice, about rights for Māori, so they'll go to the Supreme Court and fight it all the way. I'm confident that in the end, justice might be served, because this is a matter of principle. We're talking about Māori proprietary rights.
So you see success, you see victory in the Supreme Court?
I would, look, when you've got Sir Eddie Jerry behind you, and he's the brains behind us, he knows the court system better than anyone. So I wouldn't be surprised in the end if the Māori Council came through.
What do you reckon, Matt McCarten?
Well, I think it was a good strategic move. I mean, yes, there is the legal fight to have the interpretation done, but I think regardless of whatever the right was, and I was always a bit pessimistic, you know, I mean, we know how the judicial system works, and politics and laws mix, and so it was quite clear. But what I think that the court case has done is done a delay, and that it pushes it off to next year now.
Which is a good thing.
The referenda is almost there now, and then the public will actually get to vote. Whereas if it had gone ahead before the Māori Council took this to court, there would be no referenda, and the Green Party and others, their referendum is 300,000, it's almost there now, and so this will go on to next year. And then I think when the public get involved, I think it turns the whole thing. I think their action has delayed things to the whole point the sales may never go ahead now.
Really? Okay, well that's a big prediction to
hopefully
make.
the public will appreciate that rather than National running those selfish Maoris.
Well, we shall see, we shall see. Your picks for political stars this year, you said to me earlier, Winston Peters.
Well, Winston Peters certainly been one of the stars of the last year, and I think Norman from the Green.
Last couple of decades.
Yeah, last couple of but so what's
he still
a star or just up there in the public consciousness?
Well, there's a difference. Winston's done tremendously well. You just got to give it to him.
What about his handling of the Brendan
Well,
Hines
yeah, some would say a bit early, but if you know Winston's history, he's not someone who's disloyal, is he, Matt? Yeah?
Well, no, but there is a perception, right? Yeah. If Winston had been on the other end, you know, he fights and fights and fights, demands, and so on and so on. So it is a surprise because Winston then moved fast, but I think it's also that he has changed. You know, he intends to be the kingmaker at the next election, and he doesn't want any distractions. And I think that Will and I were talking about it before. There is a history of what has been going on in the back with this unfortunate case, and Winston has obviously looked at the politics of this and just said, I'm cutting this before Christmas, and that's what he's done.
Okay, well, let's look at what it's also raised. It's that debate of waka jumping. There have been a lot of Māori that have jumped, have been pushed, who have started parties and so on. Is the phrasing fair, though, waka jumping?
No, it's not, and it's come the waka jumping because it came under when Jim Anderton had introduced some legislation, or one of the agreements he reached with Labour against the Alamo Kopu jumping. We all know about Tohanara and New Zealand First, but what New Zealanders don't know is that the first people who jumped parties were all National Party people and Labour who went to form United. This was Clive Matthewson.
So why do we call it waka jumping?
Because the simplistic view, it's racism, you know? Okay. It's that all the early jumpers were Pākehā, all the Green Party, for example...
High-profile jumpers, though, Tariana Turia,
yes, but they all went back to the electorates for a mandate. You know, Hone and Tariana both went and had by-elections.
Well,
what we have is almost everyone else, like the Green Party was in the alliance, left the alliance, stayed in Parliament. Good on them, you know, and so
it wasn't Māori.
Okay, we do have to move on
to change that.
Yeah, we've got to move on, and it'll be interesting to see if there's any legislation brought back around this issue. We need to talk about the Mana and Māori Party before we wrap.
Yeah.
What are they got to do? Because we haven't seen much from either party.
Well, we've seen quite a bit. I think Hone Harawira's been one of the performers of the last year, actually. The other one would have been Tariana Turia. You've got to give it to Tariana Turia in terms of her fight for whānau ora.
Well, yeah, they're passionate leaders.
No, they both have done well, but she's tainted by the National Party moves. That's the problem in terms of that the Māori Party have. Mana, I think, Hone's done well. Everyone wants to see them come together. But you know, the question's still
not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. In terms of what should happen,
what we've actually done is that I think the lesson has been with Māori politics, they do take conservative and a progressive position, like all left and right, and that you can't say all Māori all think the same. They do coalesce. What has happened is the Māori Party has become a caucus of National, and that you've got Mana, which I think sort of takes the original position. Which
sadly,
the
we
Party
do act. We've run out of time.
Watch out for Tamahiri in the next year. That'll be interesting. Matt's going to get him very disciplined over the next 12 months.
All right, we definitely. Thank you so much, Willie Jackson and Matt McCarten. Appreciate your time.